Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a brave noob world. Today on Oxide. Bottom left, it is VadimVyat, and in the top right, it is acopia. Alright, man, so it's gonna be a PvT here on Oxide. We've got Protoss in the top right and Terran in the bottom left. Blue versus red, as all ladder games are. And hang on a second. Yes. Okay, so no proxies from either player, but this is Brave Noob World, an examination of Bronze and Silver League level gaming. So hey, I'm not entirely sure either of these two have a plan, but we're going to have to see what they come up with here. Gateway coming up in the main base, barracks coming up in the main base, and yeah, so basically I feel like these players have an understanding of at least an early build order for this matchup, right? Walling off against Adepts, and not walling off because Marines and Marauders can shoot from the low ground and hit your gateway, so there's no point. And yeah, okay, so probe scouting, as all Protoss players do. Ooh, double gas opening here from VadimVyat, which feels like super Eastern European, like Russia or Ukraine or like, I don't know, Belarus or something. Who knows? Who knows what the options here? Walling in the probe too. Haha, get on out. So what's fun about Brave New World is that often what happens is the players have a general concept of build order, right? They can open up. Like, look at this. It's a Reaper. Reaper coming in. 2 gas for reasons I don't know. Like at some stage here, I think Vadim needs to go for a factory if you're going to open up 2 gas like that. But at this stage, it's just a Reaper. Acopia is going for an expand back home. Cybercore first before the expand, which is totally fine. If your opponent seems to be going for something like a one-base play, that's exactly what's happening here from Acopia. Man, this reminds me of, man, what's the... There's some kind of condition. Was it where people are hairless? Is that a different name? Like Apocia or something? Anyway, this Reaper's name is Bala. Bala was a bad man. Don't die to this. Okay. Bad man. Finally caught after a chicken rice heist gone wrong and inducted into the Reaper program from Changi Prison, Singapore. Now he's going to pay for his crimes against humanity. That was submitted by a patron of mine named Lorraine Man. So thank you very much for being a patron, Lorraine Man. I hope you and your friends and family in Singapore appreciate that Reaper name that you wanted me to read. Chicken rice heist. Sounds kind of fun. Like, it sounds like it's part of a song, right? They participated in a chicken rice heist. Something like that. So, wow, we're 1-1 winning it, huh? Destiny Cloudfisting it here is VadimVyat going for a barracks. Factory. Double starport even. What? Oh, I'm interested. I'm interested to see what VadimVyat is doing here. Generally what happens is the player goes for 2 gas and then in Brave New World, and then they don't spend the gas at all. And I'm like, alright, well, you have a lot of gas for no reason. But look at this. Going for a Cyclone, going for double starport, which is definitely going to be gas intensive. On the other side, just going off 2 base. Looking fine. Acopia. Doing great here. Did I? Yeah. I need to look this up while we're waiting. So both these Reapers are dead. Yep. Fairly well. Bala. Thank you so much for hanging out. But at this stage, no more scouting is going to be possible unless you want a ComSat scan, which, I mean, why wouldn't you? Stargate coming in here from Acopia too. Okay, so what is it called when you don't have any hair? No, alopecia. That's what it is. Hair loss, where formerly there was hair growth. Okay, so that's what alopecia is. This is acopia. So these are different things. All right, that's what I thought. My brain was telling me it wasn't the hair loss thing, but it was close enough to it that it was kind of freaking me out. So, learning things on the Falcon Paladin cast. Hit that like button, by the way, if you're enjoying the cast. Raven on the way. This Stargate for Acopia is doing literally nothing, which generally, if you watch professional games, you build a production, you know, a unit production structure like this and you do something with it instantly. I guess on the other side, we're not doing anything with this starport either. So it's a Raven coming in, an armory there too. Couple it up, seeing if there's a third base coming up, and there's not. And yeah, I mean, these guys seem pretty evenly matched at this stage, I'm gonna say, right? 14 to 11 army supply. Another Reaper comes in. Dang, so we made 3 Reapers today for scouting purposes, mostly. Adepts are here to... Nope, don't fight the Cyclone. I don't think you should fight the... Ooh, an auto turret. Look at this spell casting from Vadim. Oh, beautiful. Auto turret cast in a defensive situation. Murders that adept very quickly because she can't run fast enough away from it. Oh, this is great. Siege tank. Banshee on a supply block, though. Ooh, double Banshee on a supply block from Vadim. And it's going to be Void Ray. Void Ray, first thing coming out of this Stargate for Acopia. Also, a Robotics Bay. Sure, why not? Why not make a Robotics Bay? What are we going to use a Robotics Bay for in this situation? It's effectively mech here from Vadim. To get out of being supply blocked, he's producing 4 supply depots at once, which, sure, I'm down with it. I'm down with producing a few supply depots at the same time, but it is more efficient to just always be making a supply depot, right? Always be making SCVs, always be making a supply depot, and then you'll never have problems with being supply blocked. Well, you'll have fewer problems with being supply blocked. Same thing with Protoss. Always be making probes and pylons. Always be making, drones and overlords. Okay, so that auto turret gets killed by Void Ray that pops out, very surprisingly. But, I mean, at least the Raven scouted it, right? So, well done. Well done, Raven. 10 points to Gryffindor for that one. Working on a +1 air weapon. Another. Okay, man. 4 starport opening from VadimVyat here. What is going on? Is he going Sky Terran against Protoss? This seems like possibly not the greatest idea I've ever seen. But you know what? That's what's fun about Brave Noob World, is you see strategies that you don't see at the professional level, right? We do sometimes see Banshee hit squads in TVZs. Against Zergs, obviously, but not so much against Protoss. It's not really a thing that happens. And also, Void Rays coming in. Don't see a lot of Void Rays versus Terran either, because Marines tear through Void Rays so easily. Like, Void Ray rushes, yes, right? Void Ray rushes where you set up some shield batteries down here, and you make 4 or 5 Void Rays, and you go blah, 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 blah. Sure, that's great. But in general, Void Rays are not really made against Terran in normal macro-style games, because Marines murder them real easy. I mean, Vikings murder them real easy. Cyclones do really well against them, too. There's just too many answers to Void Rays from the Terran arsenal. The end. All right. So third base warping in. Ooh, double expanding is Vadim. On site, too. Just naked expands both. He's not worried. He's not worried about what acopia can do to him. Ooh, hyperflight rotors. I love that. If you're going to make a bunch of Banshees, then yes. You might as well absolutely get the hyperflight rotor upgrade and cloak for them. Make them fast, make them zippy, make them as good as they can be. Going Banshees against Protoss reminds me of that one mission in the Wings of Liberty campaign where you're being chased by that wall of fire from left to right. And going Sky Terran is how you're supposed to play it. And yeah, Mass Banshee against Protoss can be pretty fun. I mean, Banshees are really flimsy versus anything that can hit them. And Stalkers especially do a really good job against them. But if you have enough, you just kind of like focus down individual Stalkers one at a time. It's not a bad experience to go Banshees here. All right, so both players kind of struggling a little bit in transferring workers to new bases. 21/16 here. So if you're not seeing this 21/16 number when you're playing the game, under options and gameplay, there's a show worker status checkbox you can check. So do that. Do always show worker status. And that when you glance at a base, you can see this red and say, I do need to send 5 workers to another base. And he's got another base to send 5 workers to. I mean, it will help saturate this 4th base quite nicely, yeah? Yeah. So remember when I was like, we're making all the Banshees? Yeah, we have 2 of them. And now we're making Liberators. So Vadim seems either to have audibled in the middle of the situation. He's changing entirely what he's doing. Or he's only really planning on making 2 Banshees and giving them Hyperflight Rotor and Cloak, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. Fleet Beacon coming in from Acopia. Oh, interesting. Does anyone have any information about the other team? Not really. And at this point, Acopia doesn't know if there's a 3rd or a 4th base down here at all. And on the other side, at least there's a scout. Like, at least Vadim knows that Acopia has a 3rd base. So that's great. Hyperflight Rotor takes approximately forever to complete, but it's almost done. Thank everything. Come on, come on. Well, I want to see the jets coming out of the back here. And Wait, is it done? Where's my flames? Wait. Hyperflight rotor is supposed to make them have flames come out of their butts. What is, okay, now, cloak is not helping. There they are. What the heck? Wow. Okay, so that went about as poorly as it could for those two banshees. Boy, is this just a move across the map and win situation from Acopia? Like, we're looking at a 72 to 66 army supply. I guess if the Liberators are set up in a good position, they can pretty much deal with the Colossus very, very nicely. But man, those Void Rays, what's going to deal with the Void Rays? Well, 16 Marines could probably do it. Also a Cyclone, sure. Maybe, but the Marines have no upgrades whatsoever. There's no attack, there's no armor, there's no combat shield, there's no stim. There are no medevacs to heal them either. So, I mean, these are unupgraded Marines in every sense of the term. Unupgraded. Absolutely. But Mass Liberator, look at this. He's got 5. He's making 5 more here. These starports are just working hard in the service of making 6 Liberators at once. Double expanding again. VadimVyat's like, I'm sitting on 2,000 minerals. Might as well. I'm at 173 supply. So this, I'm going to say this is probably closer to silver level for a Brave New World than bronze. I mean, Vadim at least is expanding like a boss. Acopia is expanding a little bit slower than a normal Protoss would, but this is not too bad either at 11 minutes. So yeah, if you want me to cast your Brave New World game, bronze or silver, be sure to send it to Snipermonkey at the email address in the description. If you send it to me, I'm probably not going to see it, all right? I'm not looking for Brave New World or Mid-Rank Madness submissions. And just as a note, Snipermonkey got 3 submissions for these over the last 2 weeks. Okay, so if you want to get cast, now's a pretty good time to try to make that happen, all right? Snipermonkey, send it to him with the subject of Brave Noob World. If you want to send me a Mid-Rank Madness game, which is Gold, Platinum, and Diamond, then send it to Snipermonkey as well with the subject of Mid-Rank Madness, okay? All right, I'm glad we had this talk. High-sec auto-tracking on the way. Acopia says, you know, if you're going to go Sky Terran, I'm going to go Sky Toss with carriers. Uh-oh. What do we have to do with carriers? Liberators don't do very well versus carriers. I guess they're fairly good at killing interceptors. I guess with the splash damage that they do. And their air-to-air attack, 20 unupgraded Marines are not going to do a whole lot, I don't think. The Banshees are useless. The tanks are useless. Uh-oh. So this went from a situation where I think the Terran's doing really well to where I just don't know that he has the right composition to deal with what Acopia is doing here. So Vadim's floating 4,000 minerals and 1,000 gas at the moment. But he's maxed out. So you know what? When you start floating when you're maxed out, that's called having a bank. Good. Also, you should probably go attack when you're maxed out, right? Just in general, no matter what your matchup is, no matter what you're doing, if you're maxed out, go try to kill something. Try to kill an expansion. Like, maybe don't go for the kill. Don't try to just A-move into your opponent's main base and win. But at least go try to kill an expansion of your opponent's. And I think you'll... Wow, SCVs are killing this. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. You can get stuff done. Now, these cannons are just the ultimate enemy of these Liberators, because Liberators can't do anything against buildings. But Banshees, I mean, Banshees aren't that great either. The tanks, I guess. Yes, you need to bring the tanks over to kill these cannons, and then this base will die. Oh, our Marines are on a little solo mission. Once again, entirely unupgraded Marines. I mean, this you can beat the Wings of Liberty Brutal campaign with entirely unupgraded Marines. I'm not sure they're that good, you know, against cannons that are being, oh my gosh, healed by shield batteries. Unupgraded Marines are crap. They're so bad. Oh, the Mass Liberators. What is this silliness? What is going on here? So Liberators basically murder Acopia's entire mineral line at the third base. That's cool. They're fighting interceptors, and actually, if they focus carriers, they're not that bad. I don't know, man. I think there's too many carriers, though, and Void Rays. So that Raven is dead. This group of Liberators is now fleeing for their lives. Cannons getting parting shots and taking down a Liberator as they flee. Man, I love Brave Noob World. This is just... You don't see this, man. You don't see Mass Liberator attempted against carriers at any other level of StarCraft other than Brave Noob World. You just don't. Okay, factories in production for I don't know what exactly. Honestly, at this point, you know what would be awesome is Vikings. Just mass Viking would wipe out everything Protoss has. I guess these Stalkers are a problem. But it killed the Colossus and the Mothership and the Void Rays. Extra turrets coming up elsewhere in fear. Repair is good. Like, Repair is kind of doing awesome here, but it's not enough against a giant Protoss armada. Yeah, Vadim is down to 135 supply. Just getting obliterated here. Does he have scans available to scan this stuff? There's a scan. All right, good. So tank almost kills a single Stalker, and this base goes down. Vadim is just getting crushed. Getting absolutely crushed right now. 182 to 117 supply. Acopia seems to, you know what? Sky Toss against Terran is not generally recommended because Terran has a lot of answers to this. But when your opponent goes a ton of Liberators and Banshees, you know what? It's cool. You can go Mass Carrier. There's no Vikings. I mean, yeah, the reason you don't see this generally is Vikings will kill it. I mean, fully upgraded Marines with Stim and Medevac support, I guess if you can deal with the Colossus first, will absolutely wreck carriers straight up. So the only saving grace for Vadim right now is that he still has 4 bases, right? He's lost 2, but he was at 6. So basic maths will tell us, absolutely, he's on the 4 base. He's okay. He's got 68 workers to 41 probes. Like, Acopia is not doing super well on that. Hasn't replaced the probes at the 3rd base, which is something you always gotta do, unless you're just planning on killing these nerds straight up anyway. Yeah, so a million missile turrets versus carriers, not gonna do as well as you want them to. Liberators setting up defender mode circles, and then the carriers turn their attentions over here and they're gone, that's it. Snap of the fingers, gonzo. Okay. So I think Vadim might just be dead. He's doing the wrong thing here, in that he's producing Banshees against this. Oh, wait. Mass Thor could be interesting. Mass Thor could be very interesting. Because as we know, Thor's outrange carriers and in single target mode hit them really hard. Honestly, Thors versus carriers are not a bad response. It's another thing that can kill carriers that Terran has. Does he know about this? Oh, scouts! Acopia has not been scouting well today. Send, like, one thing. Oh, just poke over here. If you kill that, you knock Vadim down to not very much income at all. 3 mineral patches alive. Acopia doing better. Oh, back up to saturating the 3rd base again, making 4 probes at a time. Excellent. Okay, so pro tip. If you have a big, scary Skytoss army that has just absolutely cleaved through everything your opponent has, you really can't sit here doing nothing. You gotta go somewhere. There you go. Holding still. Oh my gosh, the SCV transfer. So this is where Acopia needs to think. Where were those SCVs going, they need to say. Where were they heading? Maybe there's a base in that general direction I need to check out. Oh no, the Thors are in splash damage mode. That's not... No, Vadim! VadimVyat! Oh, if he was only in the right target firing mode on his Thors, this would go so much better for him. You know what? He's killed a lot of interceptors. There's only 17 remaining. Maybe this is working. Kind of. The mothership's taking a couple hits from these tiny pew-pew splash damagey Thors. So this is basically, what? 30 interceptors versus a few Thors doing piddly amounts of damage. And you know what? The carriers win because the Thors are doing piddly amounts of damage. Against Mutalisks, yes, this target mode is great. But against carriers is not enough, and that's it. Acopia is your winner in 19.5 minutes. Oh, Vadim. Vadim. Mr. Vyat. I'm terribly, terribly sorry, but you know what? Lesson learning. It's all about lesson learning, isn't it? It is. No, it is. It's all about lesson learning. So GG. End of the day there for VadimVyat and acopia is your winner. Resources lost here is 35,000 for VadimVyat and only 10,000 for acopia. If you can have a greater than 3-to-1 resources lost ratio, you're going to do okay, right? You're going to do fine. End of the day, 0 carriers died, which is woo-hoo, impressive stuff. 12 Thors went down, 15 Banshees, 31 Liberators, not the greatest idea. 2 planetaries and 2 orbitals. Just brutal, brutal stuff here. 4 kills, 7 kills, 5 kills, 10 kills, 4 kills, 4 kills. They did a good job spreading their kills out. The Colossus, 16. Oh, this carrier has 16 too. Yeah, this would have been a much, much, much different battle if those Thors were in single target fire mode rather than being in splash damage target fire mode. And I think we've made that clear. Poof. All right. That was some good stuff. We learned a lot. Thanks for screening these for me, Snipermonkey. I do appreciate it. Be sure to send him your replays if you want me to cast your stuff. And that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void in a brave noob world. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
There is no redemption.